Namaste World Racer, Savina and Roger here. Let's watch 10 Biggest Lies about Hinduism by the channel FTD Facts. I never heard of the channel before. Roger did though. I think it is a very juicy topic because we believe, we know so much about other religions and judge them, whereas I think there are a lot of, misconceptions?
Oh yeah,
and misunderstandings when it comes to different religions. So perfect topic. Looking forward to that. And then we're going to do 10 biggest lies about Buddhism. Enjoy.
And if you love Hinduism, Sanatan Dharma, hit that like button. And remember to subscribe if you haven't already.
And starting at number 10, we have the name of the religion. So the terms Hindu and Hinduism do not refer to any ancient texts of Hinduism. The term actually refers to the people of the Indus River region in India. And the common name for Hinduism is Sanātana Dharma, meaning the eternal duty of God, and that's sometimes translated as the eternal way. Followers are called Dharmis, which means followers of Dharma. And the words Hindu and Hinduism are predominantly used in Western society, but modern Indians have started to use the terms as well. Number 9, 330 million gods, or 33 million gods, some people say. Why do Hindus have so many gods? Well, you see, the monotheistic view of God, meaning that there's only one God, is the most common religious view of the divine. And Hinduism, it's commonly seen throughout the world as a polytheistic religion due to the representation of 330 million gods, or 33 million gods, depending on how you look at the translation. And polytheistic, of course, means multiple gods. However, that's not entirely accurate. See, the Hindu concept of God can be different for each person, but generally speaking, it centers around a single God or supreme being. Now, different Hindu practices allow for various representations of God, but each representation is a depiction of God. Hindus believe that the one supreme God cannot be fully understood, so the various representations such as Vishnu and Shiva and others are just symbolic of the one God, and different cultures over time created millions of various representations. Number 8, Hinduism supports a caste system. Caste discrimination finds its roots in culture rather than religion and spirituality. Now, caste was an ancient system of occupational class described in Hindu texts. Throughout the years, it developed into a social class system, and now the people of the lowest caste were marginalized, but many Hindus have argued that this social caste system that's happening now is not rooted in Hinduism at all, and it should not be viewed as something that the religion promotes. Another big lie about Hinduism out there is that Hindu women who are married have the red dots on their forehead. So today, the dot or the bindi is mainly used as body decoration. Now, a bindi was once a symbol of marriage for Hindu women. Now, females, whether they're married or single, they wear bindis in various different colors. And there's also a tilak, and that's also a mark on the forehead, and it has religious significance too. Now, it's generally made with sandalwood paste or red turmeric or something, and you will see men wearing this also. Lie number 6, Hinduism is an organized religion. The reasons religions become organized vary, like Christianity spread via the Romans / the Byzantines, and Islam spread through the Muslim campaigns in Asia as well as in Europe. But Hinduism was actually never organized, and it did not spread very much until recent years actually. There is no particular leader or founder of the religion, and it has never been backed by an empire. So the religion, if we were to use that term, has evolved into a collection of teachings and principles without the political influence seen in Islam and Christianity. The Hindu collections of teachings is believed to have began between 500 to 300 BC. Halfway in, Hindus are all vegetarians.
I don't think so.
Now, it's true that many Hindu people practice vegetarianism, but many others eat as they feel. It's estimated that 30 to 35% of Hindus are vegetarians due to the spiritual belief of ahimsa, which refers to the non-violence against living things. Most spiritual leaders are vegetarians, but the common Hindu follower is more likely to eat meat. Moving on to number 4, the Hindu Bible is the Bhagavad Gita. I honestly thought this too. So I bought myself a copy of the Bhagavad Gita, and I was like, okay, this is is totally not a Bible or anything like that. So the Bhagavad Gita is widely recognized, but it's not a Hindu Bible. The Bhagavad Gita teaches many principles of Hinduism through a dialogue between Prince Arjuna and Lord Krishna, and the Hindu sacred texts are divided into Sruti, meaning what is heard, and Smrti, meaning what is remembered. And the Gita is used by many as a moral guide, but it's just one of the many Hindu texts. Oh my god, Hindus worship cows. Hindus do not actually worship cows like one would worship God or anything. So this is a common misconception, and it's due to the fact that Hindus treat cows in a very special way because they believe that cows represent life and sustenance of life. And because they eat only grains and grass and water, and it provides so much like milk, cheese, and butter and fertilizer and all of that, it's honored because, hey, this animal takes less, but it gives out so much more. So because the cows are honored in this way in Hinduism and Indian society, it appears to outsiders that they're worshipped like one would worship a god, but they just say that this is strictly just honoring the cow. Lie number 2, Hindus worship idols. Yeah, many people believe that Hindus worship idols because the rest of the world's major religions like Islam and Christianity, they both forbid any form of idol worship. However, Hindus don't consider what they do as idol worship. Instead, they view it as, hey, we see God in everything. So all objects are considered arka, which is a living embodiment of God. And Hindus call the practice Murti Puja, means image worship, and it refers to the belief that the entirety of creation is a form of God, so that his form is in everything. So yeah, that can be really confusing, and that can look like it totally contradicts everything that Islam and Christianity teaches about idol worship. But hey, I guess different strokes for different folks. And finally, the lie at number 1 is Hinduism advocates being anti-materialistic. You gotta give up your wealth, you can't be rich, none of that stuff. Well, what Hinduism teaches is that materialistic pursuit or chasing after sensual pleasures is not actually going to provide you everlasting happiness. Hinduism advises that one must practice moderation and must be completely careful of their life and not get too carried away in any area. Hinduism also places liberation or moksha as the ultimate goal of life, and for the majority, the path of progress towards this goal of moksha includes dharma, meaning righteousness, artha, meaning materialism, and kama, meaning sensual enjoyments. So yeah, you can have all of those things. It's totally fine. Hinduism is not against any of them.
Cool.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, the biggest one right off the bat was, covered it immediately, was the name, right? So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the Hinduism, the name was, imposed by Westerners because they had to, they're like, what is this? It's so diverse and there's so many deities and so much going on and just all over the place. Different parts of India were like totally different cultures. So they just pooled it into one, base and called it Hinduism. But in reality, it's Sanatan Dharma, right? So the eternal way, the eternal truth. And I thought this is very interesting because I came across this a while ago. But if you look back, when you read enough about it, you can find out that even Jesus called his teachings, the initial, like the first century Christians, they just called it the way, right? And same with Buddhism, it was called the way, right?
Buddhism was called the way?
Yeah, the very early spread of Buddhism, like when the Buddha was still around, he just called it, they're practicing the way, they're practicing Dharma, Sanatan Dharma. So, yeah, it's fascinating, right? Because, so in my mind, Sanatan Dharma, is more ancient than we realize, and it kind of spread all over the world, and then it's been such a long time that we've forgotten, right? But we know from being spiritual ourselves and just getting into the teachings, and even the teachings, of the founders of religions, there comes the realization that these guys were enlightened beings, and then the truth that they share stems from that. So,
beautiful.
Ancient.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so the Bible, Bhagavad Gita is different to the Bible because the Bible is literally,
Well, yeah, the reason he is making that distinction is because when you get into Hinduism or Sanatan Dharma, and of course the Bhagavad Gita is a really big holy book, and then so until you dive into it further, you may think that that's their only or most important sacred text, but no, it's just a small part, well, still very, very deep and meaningful and one of the greatest, sacred texts there is, but it's not the only one. There's more than that. Whereas the other religions like Islam and Christianity, why he was making that comparison is because they only have the one book, right?
Yeah.
So he was just cutting through that Hinduism has many scriptures, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
I
it's so-
actually never realized it that way, but yeah, there is no one. It's not as straightforward as Christianity.
No.
It's like, wow, you
Yeah.
have, so many
Yeah.
paths to choose from. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wow.
it's so diverse, and that's another point in the video. Misconception is just the many gods, right? And then also thinking that it's polytheistic, meaning that there's many gods, but no, there's so Hinduism is actually monotheistic in the sense that there's one supreme being, and then all the other depictions are emanations of that. And in my mind, after studying, religions and being spiritual for some time, I see that as a more unlimited view of God, because of course God, if we think of God as, all powerful, unlimited, then we say that there can't be any images of God, then that actually just limits God in my mind. So which is why I like this Sanatan Dharma view of, there's many depictions in different aspects of the divine, right? So Brahman, Vishnu, Shiva, even Ganesh and Hanuman, and displaying, what we're to do. Like Hanuman is the perfect example of devotion and is part of that emanation of the one supreme being to give us that example of how do we worship, how do we devote ourselves, to God, right? So yeah, it's fantastic, all of it.
Nice one. Looking forward to the Buddhism one. I might be learning something.
Yeah, learning a lot.
Cool. Let us know if you learned something, if something got clarified, or if you were all clear on everything here.
Yeah, so post some questions and some misconceptions and things that weren't in the video that is maybe is common in the world and some underlying false beliefs. So yeah, let's fill up that comment section with whatever crosses your mind. And
Cool.
yeah,
Thank you.
thanks so much, and we love you.
Peace.
Peace.